How loud would a concert have to be to kill you? We all know concerts are loud. You've probably walked out of one with your ears ringing, swearing you'd never stand next to the speakers again. But could a concert actually kill you? If so, how loud would it need to be? Sound is measured in decibels dB, which operate on a logarithmic scale. That means every 10 dB increase represents a 10-fold increase in sound intensity. To put that into perspective, 10 dB would be a whisper, 60 dB, a normal conversation, while 100 dB, a jackhammer at close range, 120 dB, a rock concert or a chainsaw. At around 130 to 140 dB, the threshold of pain kicks in. This is the point where your ears scream, "Stop it." But pain is just the start. So, the human body isn't designed to handle extreme sound pressure. Here's what happens. As the volume rises at 90 to 120 dB, this is the hearing loss zone at prolonged exposure to sound above 85 dB. Your hearing cells start dying off like ants under a magnifying glass. A typical rock concert hits 120 dB, enough to cause permanent hearing loss if you're near the speakers for even a few minutes. At 150 dB, which is the eardrum killer at this level, your eardrums can rupture, which is as unpleasant as it sounds. This could happen if you're standing too close to a jet engine or an exploding firecracker. Between 185 to 200 dB, which is the body breaker. At this level, sound doesn't just affect your ears, it impacts your entire body. The sheer pressure can cause your lungs to collapse, your internal organs to rupture, and your brain to suffer damage. You're not just at a concert anymore, you're in a sonic war zone. But how loud is too loud to survive? To kill someone with sound, the concert would need to hit 195 to 200 dB, a range that's basically impossible in most natural or man-made environments. For comparison, 188 dB is the Saturn V rocket at liftoff. 230 dB was Krakatoa's eruption in 1883, which was heard 3,000 miles away. Even if your favorite band somehow set their amps to Krakatoa levels, your death wouldn't. It'd be because of the sound itself. It would be the shock waves obliterating your insides. So could a concert ever be that loud? Realistically, no. Even the most intense concerts, think Metallica, AC/DC, or that time your drunk uncle sang karaoke, rarely exceed 130 dB. This is partly because venues have safety regulations and partly because no one wants to pay lawsuits for exploding eardrums. But for a concert to reach lethal levels, you'd need custom-built speakers capable of producing extreme sound pressure, a power source strong enough to rival a small nuclear plant, and a band willing to murder their audience for the sake of art. The thing is, sound has been weaponized before. Acoustic weapons, devices designed to harm or incapacitate using sound waves, are a thing. These include long-range acoustic devices used for crowd control, emitting sound at levels around 150 to 160 dB, shockwave cannons, experimental weapons that blast sound waves strong enough to knock people over. So technically, with enough power and engineering, a lethal concert could be designed. But let's be honest, most bands don't want to end their gigs with manslaughter charges. But imagine this, you're at an outdoor concert. The headliner? A death metal band called Decibel Reapers. They've ditched normal amps and installed rocket engine-grade sound systems. As the show starts, the speakers pump out 195 dB, enough to rupture your eardrums instantly and cause your lungs to collapse like cheap folding chairs. Congratulations, you've just become the first documented case of a concert-related death by sound. The band releases a commemorative t-shirt. While a concert loud enough to kill you is more sci-fi than reality, the dangers of sound are very real. Hearing damage, eardrum ruptures, and even physical trauma are all possible if the volume goes too high. So the next time you're at a show and someone cranks the volume, remember, it's all fun and games until someone's lungs implode.